I feel like that's none of my business. Nigga be steadily giving opinions on shit that don't even concern them. I got a lot to get it off of my sternum. I got a lot.
I'm deep diving into your emotions, and sometimes I think I might be broke, but you're bringing back all my feelings, and I fucking love it. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving into your emotions. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving. I'm deep diving. And I fucking love it.
I want you to see me, Fred. I'm here.
Chat, we're starting 50, 55, 5, not 5. We're going to start soon. That's the point. How are we doing on music? How's everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Today, we're doing air dribble class. Bear with me. I'm a little tired. I did a half marathon this morning. Sub 2 hours, which I was pumped about, but I was dead this morning. I was dying. So I've just been trying to like refuel and slowly get back after it. This is me in Banana Paradise at the event. It was a good time. How's music? How's everybody doing? I appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got a small class today, just gonna be like 10 people, but it'll be good because I'll be able to answer whatever questions you guys have. So it'll be intimate. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I also just posted announcements. I just posted a 2v2 coaching session I did with our third place finisher, Tanner, aka Mystican_RL. He finished third last month on our school leaderboard, so we got a free one-on-one coaching session with me, 30 minutes. But it's super helpful. If you're a diamond, I think you'll like it a lot. So yeah, it's in the school. I created a new section. Question, guys, is there a specific way you want me to organize the school? Like currently I have a section called events, replays, and recordings. Should I just make a section for like live event recordings? Or should we put it in the classroom? Should we make it part of the classroom, or should we put it in its own chat channel? I don't know. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, just made a big announcement video teaming up with the retired professional coach Verge. He's going to be taking over as head coach inside the Grand Champ Boot Camp, so he's going to be doing events here too soon. Should be fun. I think both. We should probably just do the free events. We should probably just do recordings of the events, and I should probably just put them. The main question was like, should I put them just in the community tab, or should I also make a classroom section? But we could do both. We can make like a classroom section and call it like live event recordings. I'll put the live event recordings in there too. I could do both. What would you guys rather have? Like just put the replay of this in here, like in the event recordings, replays, and VODs? Or would you rather I also put it in the classroom section? Or just one or the other? Or just classroom or just community? How do you guys access these? Like how would you want to find the replay? What would be the best way? You tell me. You tell me, chat. I see me. That'd be cool. Both. Classroom, definitely. Yeah. Event recordings, event replays. You like that? That make more sense? I'll put them in here from now on. Because I want announcements to be different than like event replays. You know? But yeah, just dropped a big
Giving me a
hour-long podcast with Verge. He announced his retirement over on his channel. He's
and I
retiring from
am
Rocket League.
making this video to...
And you guys should go give it a look. Oh yeah. Let's talk air dribbles. Today, the topic is air dribbles, chat. Welcome in for those of you who are new here. First timers. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys are new, or a 2 if you've been here before? Just interested to know if you guys have been through these, so I know whether I should just jump into it or run you through structure. Once again, that's 1 if you're new here, 2 if you're your second time or more. 1 if this is your first time. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Today, topic of discussion is air dribbles. We're going to be going over my step-by-step breakdown for how I like to approach the air dribble, how I would learn the air dribble if I was new. And then we'll also be going through some training packs that you can use to practice it, and I'll be answering your questions at the end. 2, this is the second one. Jamie, welcome back. I love it. I will be honest, guys, I haven't played Rocket League in like a week. So I need to get the old man hands warmed up. Let me throw this on here. There we go. Chat is on slow mode. I think both would be pretty cool. All right, we'll put it in both. We will put it in both. So there are live event recordings everywhere. Yeah, today's topic is air dribbles, chat. So we're going to be breaking down the air dribble into 3 steps, but since it's a smaller stream, we've only got 20 people, I want to spend the majority of the time on questions, okay? So I'm going to go through 5-10 minute spiel, okay? I'm just going to yap. So the start of this will just be a little bit of a yap. But I want to spend more time on questions today, okay? Because it's smaller, and I want to be able to support you guys. Cool. Let's talk about the air dribble. I dropped a training pack in the school announcement. So if you just go to the latest announcements, you'll see this training pack. I made a training pack called, I listed a training pack called Walled Air Dribble, and we're going to use this to start. Normally, I don't like using training packs, okay, when you're learning a mechanic, because they're kind of a crutch. But for the air dribble, it is good because it's sort of training wheels. It's sort of training wheels. So like imagine you're riding a tricycle before you ride a bicycle. That makes sense? First thing we need, I'm going to break the air dribble down into 3 steps. Okay, so we're going to have the setup, we're going to have the air roll adjustment, and then we're going to have the carry. We're going to have the setup, air roll adjustment, and then we're going to have the carry. Let's start with the setup. The first touch on the air dribble is very important. You want to catch the ball as it's stopping. It's not on its way down, but it's approaching the end of that upward trajectory. In my air dribble tutorials, the point that I specify for this, the point where you generally want to hit it, is when it's 1 hexagon up a wall. So on this map, you can't see hexagons, but you can see that string. You see like that string right here? This is about where we want to hit it. We want to hit it on that string. Because once it gets above that string, it's going to fall back down. And we need to catch the ball while it's rolling up. Because if we wait too long and it's going down, our air dribble is not going to get any height. So we have to hit the ball while it's going up in order to be able to travel with it. But we don't want to hit it immediately, because then we're going to spike it into the ceiling. Here, it's not the worst. You can recover from it. But for an air dribble, we want it to be smooth. So we want it to be right at the top to be able to stay close with it. We're targeting about that fence mark there. This is true even on this one. We want to catch it right when it's going to the peak of its height, right before it starts falling. Does this make sense, chat? Why we want to catch the ball before it starts falling? It's like if you catch the ball once it starts falling, good luck. Good luck keeping it going. Any questions on that? That's when we're going to hit the ball. I see a question, do you break? This is a great question. Yes, and I'll explain how and why. Just did one nice right after you said that. Wonderful. Love to hear it. So that's going to be the setup. We want to catch the ball right when it's hitting its peak height before it starts falling. Okay, so we're looking about one of these strings up the wall on the first rope. Right on the first rope. That's going to allow us to get a smooth transition into the air and be able to carry this through the rest of the air dribble. Any questions on the first touch? When we want to hit the ball. That's not all the first touch. That's just when we want to hit it. So far, so good? Cool. Next question is, what do we do to transition to the air? What do we do to get this air roll adjustment? Do we jump with the ball? Like this? Do we pop and stop? and then chase the ball, what do I recommend? At the high levels, you can do any of them. All of the setups work. But the setup that I was taught, and I was actually taught this by Verge because I learned off of Verge's tutorial, is the pop and stop. And I think it's the best for beginner air dribblers because if you're jumping with the ball, you're going to be right behind it, and this is very fast. But if you do what's called the pop and stop, which is you're going to pump the brakes when you hit the ball. Right before you hit the ball, you pump the brakes. It's going to give you a little bit of time to jump and fly after the ball after. Is it as smooth as just jumping with the ball and going straight into an air dribble? Maybe not. But the pop and stop is the most consistent, and I think it's the safest for new players. So we're going to do the pop and stop. So right when we hit the ball, practice before we hit it, pulling down on the brake. For me, I use Rizzo's controls, so my left joystick drives. But for you, you're just going to tap brake. Do that little brake tap for me. This is going to create a little bit of separation from the ball and get you behind it for your air dribble. This is important because when you're starting out, you need time to get behind the ball, and your air roll adjustment isn't going to be like perfectly fluid. You're not going to be jumping off and tornado spinning straight into your air dribble. That comes from muscle memory. So having this time to stop, adjust with the air roll, and follow it through will help a lot with your first air dribble. Do you boost and brake at the same time? Because I'm confused as to how to have a good start. So I boost before I get to the wall, and then I'm braking without boosting. So I'm boosting before I get to the wall, and then I'm braking without boosting, and I'm jumping without boost as well. It looks like I'm jumping without boost as well, and then I'm boosting once I get off the wall. I'm boosting again once I get off the wall. Now, each air dribble setup is different, right? So this one, you don't need much boost at all. I could go without boost the entire way because I'm so close. This air dribble, I'm quite far, so I need to boost to get behind it and get enough speed to get this ball all the way down the field. This one's a little bit closer, so I can just feather my boost. Does that make sense? To recap the setup, we're waiting for the ball to get to the peak of its height before it starts rolling down. And then we're going to hit the ball, tap brake before we jump. And then we're off. We're doing this pop and then jumping with it. Any questions on the timing of the setup? We'll do more in-depth stuff at the end, but any questions on the first touch? In free play, looks something like this. If we're going to start from the half. Ball's going to roll up. We're going to wait till it gets to the peak of its height. Jump. And we're transitioning into the carry. A little better off this wall. Let it roll. Brake. And then jump. It's just a tap of the brake. I don't want to exaggerate it too much because that might hurt more than it helps. It really is just a tap of the brake, and then you're off. The tap is just to get you behind the ball because we need to be a little bit behind the ball to be able to carry it. If we jump with the ball, it looks like this, and it's not the end of the world, but you're just going to be really close to it. And if you don't let go of the boost, it's not as effective of an air dribble because although it looks nice to be glued to the ball the entire time, like, oh, I'm glued to the ball, it's also very predictable. I'm not getting any unexpected touches. Versus when we do the pop and stop, we have these opportunities to add one touch, two touch, and we get actual direction change on the ball. This is something that Wayton Pilkin calls the two-touch air dribble, and I think it's the reason that the pop and stop is generally more effective in ranked. Jumping with the ball, the glue air dribble, I mean, it looks cool, but definitely less effective if you don't know how to, like, for example, flip reset to get a direction change. Okay, we've gone over the setup. Now I want to talk very briefly about the air roll adjustment. So if you're starting out, I see a comment in chat that says, your air roll looks so smooth. I appreciate it. I'm definitely not the smoothest. But if you're starting out, you're not going to have this air roll control. This comes from hundreds of hours of rings maps. That's what it comes from. It comes from learning the basic adjustments and then doing hundreds of hours of rings maps and just messing up and learning what works and what doesn't when it comes to air roll. For you guys starting out, you're not going to have that, which means this adjustment off the wall can't look like this. It's not going to be this like spinny thing that you see all the pros do, where all of a sudden we're tornado spinning and now we're perfectly behind the ball and it's on top of our car. It's not going to look like that. It's not going to look like this seamless movement where you're just floating behind the ball and, you know, the universal lines. It's going to be a little bit more choppy, and that's okay. We need to practice just keeping our car upright, like this. So before we do any tornado spins, I recommend, if you're going off the right wall, you just practice using air roll right to get behind the ball and stick to it. If you're off the left wall, it's air roll left. We're not doing any fancy air roll or tornado spins. We're just air rolling left to get our car straight with the ball, straight behind the ball. Does it look as sexy? No. But this adjustment, I think, is more consistent if you're a first-time air dribbler. That makes sense? Chet says, I just got my first double tap with the pop and stop. Congrats. That's awesome, man. I love it. Does that make sense why I recommend you start with just a simple air roll adjustment? Right wall. We're just jumping off the wall and using air roll right. If we're off the left side, going this way, jump off the wall, air roll left. And we're flying. That makes sense? Yes, I have both directional air roll bound. For me, it's easy. My square is left. My circle is right. Air roll right. But I use RB for my joystick air roll. And that's what I'm using for sake of example. Primarily in the air, I'm using directional air roll left. But this tornado adjustment comes from experience, and it's not something that I don't like teaching and just being like, just do what I'm doing on my joystick, because that's not really teaching. That's just my muscle memory. Any questions on the air roll adjustment? If we're on the right, it's air roll right. If we're on the left, it's air roll left. We're going to go back to the training pack in a second. Does that make sense? I'm having trouble gluing to the ball. We'll talk about that in a second. That is going to be the carry. We'll get to that in just a moment. Cool. Let's go on to the final step, which is the carry. After we do the adjustment, and this is actually one last note on the adjustment. I want to address a common mistake, because I see this plague a lot of new players. There's a lot of button inputs going on, right? We're doing the pop, we're doing the stop, we're jumping, we're boosting. Maybe we're using directional air roll, maybe we're not using directional air roll. Whatever it is, there's a lot going on. While this is all going on, at least while you're learning and you're doing this pop and stop, I recommend you don't boost through the adjustment. At the high levels, you can do everything together. You can do what you want, whatever the situation is. You can boost, not boost, I don't care. If you're better than me, do what you want. But if you're just learning and you want to catch up to my skill level, I recommend you don't boost through the adjustment. What that means is when we're going to the wall, I'm going to go back into wall to air dribble by IP Joker. We're not boosting while we air roll here. And the reason is because if you're boosting, you need to get your car aligned with the ball really fast, or you're going to overshoot it. Instead, we're just going to air roll and not boost through the adjustment. Jump, air roll, not boost. We're going to wait to start boosting until the end of our air dribble. It's once again the same reason we do the pop and stop. Waiting is just going to give us a little bit more time as a newer air dribbler to get behind the ball and make sure we get our car lined up. If you're boosting through the entire time, you're going to end up on top of the ball, you're going to end up behind the ball, and you've got to have air roll control in order to be able to correct yourself. So let's not boost through the adjustment. Let's just jump and not boost until we get our car lined up, and then we can start boosting. Does that make sense? So we just want to give ourselves a little more time. Pop and stop, no boost, jump, and we're starting to boost again once our car is lined up. I want you to get in the habit of getting your car lined up before you add boost into the equation. If you're finding that you're ending up too far from the ball, then you can shorten that brake pump. It doesn't have to be a brake hold, it can just be a pump, and then you're off the wall. But that's the adjustment. I want you to not boost through the adjustment to start. It's just gonna give you a little bit more time in order to get the touch you want if you're still learning. Okay, now the final step, the carry, should be, from this point, just a question of boost. If you've done your air roll adjustment properly, if you hold down boost, you should carry the ball over the goal line. You should push this ball over the goal line if you've done every step to this point correctly. You should be able to just drive the ball into the ceiling if you hold down boost. And the reason for that is because by doing the pop and stop and by not boosting through the adjustment, we should be under the ball and behind it. So if we boost, we should just take it over the backboard. You'll know if your air dribble is right if you're taking the ball over the backboard like this. If you're taking your air dribble too low, driving it into the ground, you may be boosting through the adjustment here and ending up on top of the ball and spiking it. Or you may be a little bit slow with your correction, and by the time you're correcting, you got to catch up to the ball, you're too far. So we want to be able to quickly get this adjustment, and if we're not boosting through, we should just be able to drive it across the field. That's how you know that you're getting a good air dribble. If you can just continue to take this ball across the field. That makes sense? So you'll know your air dribble is right if all you have to do is hold down boost and you're taking the ball above the goal. We should be behind the ball and under it, not over it. If you're over it, you're boosting through the adjustment. We're going way too high here. And if you're too far behind the ball, you're pumping brake too long. We just pump brake way too long to be able to catch up to this ball and get an air dribble. I find that when I tap the brakes, I stop a lot. Okay, always boosted while correcting, but see why it's not the best. Yeah, just to start out without it. This tip is so helpful, it already works. Thanks so much. I love that, Arnold. Yep, I'm so. This is crazy. I've never done this many air drills in a row before. I love that. I love that. So let's bring it all together. To recap, we're catching the ball at the top of its roll up the wall before it starts falling. We're pumping brakes using the pop and stop method by Verge. We're pumping brakes before jumping an air roll without boost. The reason we're doing it without boost is just to give us more time to get lined up and get behind the ball. Catching it at the top, pump brakes, no boost, and we're jumping after. Pump brakes, jump. We should be under the ball and able to take it to the backboard. From here, if you want to get a smooth air dribble, we're just going to feather the boost less and hold it on the nose of our car. If you want to get a smooth air dribble, we're feathering the boost less, just trying to hold it on the nose of our car. If you want to get a two-touch air dribble, and this is kind of more lethal, what I would recommend in game, we're going to jump with the ball, we're going to do the pop and stop, but we're going to touch hard, we're going to boost. So to get a smooth air dribble, you're boosting and then letting go when you get close to the ball, versus if you want to get a hard touch on the ball, you're not boosting and then holding through as you boost. So you need to feather your boost no matter what to stay behind it. But if you boost while you're making connection with the ball, boosting into it, you'll get these hard touches. And that's like that two-touch air dribble. Versus if you boost and then let go when you're about to hit the ball, boost and let go when you're about to hit the ball, you'll get a softer air dribble. And from there, you're just feathering. We're taking it down. I can already air dribble, but this just doubled my skill. I love it. The feather, I will admit, the feather, like these last couple touches at the end, not musty, sorry. The carry is a little bit of just timing, right? And learning how much you need to tap boost and how powerful the boost is in the air. But the rest of the air dribble is pretty coachable. So I never like saying like, oh, just practice and get reps in. But for the carry, you're going to have to, get practice air roll, using air roll to be able to air roll adjust, and feathering boost to understand how powerful your boost is. But the setup, at least, should be pretty formulaic, right? We're letting the ball roll up, trying to catch it while it's at its top, popping brakes, air rolling without boost to stay under and behind, and then we boost to catch up and follow our air dribble. Break. And that one I got too slow. And that is the fundamentals of the air dribble. We covered setup, we covered the adjustment, and we covered the carry. What you would do after. Fellas, what questions do we have? This is a small class. We've got 21 people. I want to take time to address any and all questions you have. Please, fire away. How can I support? We'll go into free play and I can run you guys through. Run you guys through some of these things. Yeah, not boosting while correcting helped so far. I love that. Not boosting while correcting is just going to give you more time. It's not like when I air dribble, I don't always not boost while I correct, but it absolutely, like if you're starting out, it's going to give you more time to line your car up with the ball, make sure you're on the right track, and only then do you boost into it and finish your air dribble. It's just going to give you more room for error. Catching it when it's one up the wall. We got it. If you do it without the stop, how do you avoid overshooting or going too high? If you're doing it without the stop, you just have to make sure that you don't have too much speed before going into the ball. So here, like, you can do it without the stop, but I'm not boosting much after. And it's just definitely harder. You're staying closer to the ball. This is how I used to do my air dribbles, but my coach Shock in the Grand Champ Boot Camp, he encouraged me to hold. You do the pop and stop. He says it's better for at least flip reset setups, and I need to go for more flip resets. So he recommended it for me. That was the wonkiest one. Question, how do you get under the ball for the reset? You should check out our reset class. It's in the announcements. I'll put it in the school community after this. How do you pre-flip into the air dribble? Pre-flipping or using the neutral jumps into the air dribble is not something I recommend. You're going to have to be very good at, you have to have you have to understand the complete flip animation. And really, pre-flipping into this air dribble is only good when you need, beat a defender, or you need, somebody's challenging you super early, maybe somebody's off the wall here, you want to pre-flip them and then follow up on the last man. I would not recommend pre-flipping into most air dribbles. The ball has to be going pretty slow to start out. It's just so rare. I don't know. Ceiling shot class coming soon, I hope. Yes, ceiling shot would have to be for another day. I'm still not the best with my ceiling shots. I need to work on them. I'd have to prepare a curriculum, even for me. I can do them, but not great. How long do I pop and stop? It's because I'm realizing your stops are smoother and have more momentum. For me, it's just a flick of my joystick. I use my joystick as my back and my forward. I use Rizzo's controls. I'm a weirdo. So for me, it's just a flick. For you, I mean, the pop and stop depends on the starting. So if I'm really close and I'm going super slow, I can use the extra speed. I don't need to stop. But if we're going fast with the ball here, I might want to pop and stop just to slow things down. So it's not like a end-all be-all rule, but it's just gonna slow it down and give you more time. So I would just stop for that. It's just a flick. It's, I mean, a quarter of a second really, nothing more. Tips on ground to air dribbles. Like on the car to the air dribble. Like starting here. Or starting here. Like starting with the ground setup like this. One of these. I'm happy to go over both or neither. When you hit the ball in the air, do you boost into it or no? That's going to depend on the speed of the ball and the speed of your car. I can't give you a rule of like, like if you're, once we're in the air here, it depends on how high the ball is, how fast your car is going. I can't give you a one rule to say like, yes, boost in the air, or don't boost in the air. We're going for the ball. Chat says, gonna try it in free play. I nailed wall to air dribble. Thanks. Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it. Glad I could help. That was a screamer. I somehow have more control when I disable ball cam. Does this make sense? Absolutely. When I do this setup off the wall, for example, when like the ball is quickly changing, when the ball is like quickly moving, like sides of my car, if I keep ball cam on here and the ball has a lot of lateral movement, it's a little bit disorienting. You can score it, but for me, I find it more stabilizing if I turn off ball cam right before I hit it, and then I just track the silhouette of the ball. Does that make sense? Like if the ball has a lot of lateral movement, in those cases, I'm turning off ball cam on my air dribbles, versus like if it's straight up, like here, I'm turning off. Just instinctively, I'm turning it off because I know I have to get around the ball, and then I'm turning it back on once I know the ball's in a straight line. Here, it's like moving to the side, and now it's in a straight line. So I can follow up with ball cam. Here, for example, it's pretty much in a straight line, so I can just take it the whole time with ball cam. This one too, pretty much in a straight line, so I can just take it the whole time with ball cam. This one too, it's gonna be in front of me the entire time. But yeah, like when it's not in front of me, like this sidewall setup, I'm tracking the ball around, making sure I get lined up with it so I get a good first touch, and then we can take it down after that. Same thing with the previous shot. When I'm bouncing it off the wall, turn off, just to make sure I get the proper first touch. Almost. Can't miss this. Oh, almost missed it. Would you recommend air dribbling upside down so you can go for a flip reset anytime at higher levels? I'm cautious to recommend anything at high levels because I've been stuck at the high levels for quite a long time. So I don't want to tell you how to play, but I can say personally, if I'm defending somebody that is like constantly air rolling throughout, like this, I am much more scared than if they're dribbling like this. So I feel like I can tell somebody's dribbling like this, like you kind of know where they're gonna go, versus if they're like this, they could drop down for a flip reset, they could take it low. There's a lot more options when we're spinning like this. You can kind of discover things. That being said, you should do whatever you can control better, right? Like if you have better control over, you know, directional air roll, and you can hit this ball easier if you're spinning the entire time, like me, because I have bad habits and I don't know how to fly without air roll, then fly with air roll the entire time, right? Use air roll this whole air dribble. But if air roll makes it harder and you just find it easier to hit the ball like this when you're flying behind it, and you're using air roll less, and you're just tapping, good on you. I guess tiebreaker goes to hold down air roll, but do what you can control better. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. How is your gameplay so smooth? I don't know. I haven't been on for a week. I had the half marathon Twitch. I ran a half marathon this morning, so I'm just like, just gotta go fast, you know? That makes sense? Probably sound like a crazy person. Any tips for ground air dribble off bounce? Oh, get height. That's what I would recommend. Ground to air dribble off bounce is hard because you're gonna hit the ball very hard forward. So like, let me show you an example. So if I hit this ball behind, it's going straight out. Like I get a reset maybe, but I'm not air dribbling that ball. If I connect with it back here, it's way too far out. So get under, like maybe more than you think you need to, in order to transition this into an air dribble. Nice reset. Even off the ground here, right? If I hit this ball at all behind, it's just done. The air dribble is just done. So when we're starting these ground air dribbles, we really have to prioritize getting height because the wall isn't helping us. So we can't get under it, you know, our air dribble is pretty much going to die. Like unlike the wall here, where this is going to propel it into the air even if we kind of mess up our touch. Nice shot. When it's off the ground, we really have to get under it. A tip that my coach Shock gave me is when you can, you want to time your second jump especially in order to make sure that the ball and your car get height and there's no knockback. So in this setup, for example, where the ball's coming off the sidewall and we have to get under it and hit it up, if I do my double jumps before I hit the ball, let me try to show you an example. If I do the double jumps before I hit the ball and then I try to boost up, I'm losing height. I'm not getting enough height. Versus if I time my second jump through the ball, it's reducing the knockback and getting us a little bit higher in the air than if I just jump and then try. This might not be the best example, but where's a better example? Maybe I could show you on. This is a great example. So ball's coming at me. If I just jump and then try to boost, I'm behind this ball. I'm having to catch up. I'm losing control. Versus if I use my second jump while I'm touching the ball, my car is staying closer with it, and I'm able to actually follow this. So it's a subtle difference, but like if I jump, now I have to boost and catch back up, and I get a little bit of knockback. Versus I jump and I hold my jump through the second time, it's just a little bit better. Does Does that make sense? Like, I'm using my second jump to reduce knockback. I do it especially on the ground here when I can. I'm hitting the ball up. I'm like kind of boosting through. I don't know if this is just a bunch of nonsense, but for me, I find that when I'm timing my second jump through, I'm getting smoother setups than if I use both my jumps beforehand. And some, like this one off the sidewall, you don't actually have time to use both jumps. Like you're just probably, this is so low to the ground that you're probably in a game, you're just jumping and you're probably resetting this ball because it's so low to the ground. Probably going here, fake, and then try to reset or something. If you try to double jump, we could air dribble it, but it's so low to the ground that it's probably up, reset or something. I don't know. I'm not mechanical, but this is what I'm doing to try to become more mechanical. So use that if it's useful. Tips for wall to air dribble off back wall. Off back wall, you just gotta jump sooner. So like off the side wall, you can do the air dribble setup. Let me show you without jumping. So like I can just hit this ball. Oh, this is a bad example. Let me go to a basic training pack for you. So off the side wall, you can just hit the ball and then jump after, because the ball stays so, like if the ball rolls up the sidewall, it pretty much stays glued to the sidewall the whole time. The backboard interacts a little bit differently. If you roll the ball up the backboard, check this out. So if I roll this ball up here and then I go to the side of it, it's gonna get thrown off the backboard a little bit. This wasn't the best example. But balls that roll up the sidewall, they stick to the sidewall. Versus a ball that's like hit against the backboard, it's gonna roll up it, and then did you see there how it fell off? Like, it doesn't say glued to the sidewall. Because the curvature here is more harsh. Like this curvature is softer. Like this is the reason it's easier to curve dash off the back wall, because the back wall's steeper. And I'm messing up my curve dash right now, but let me go to free play. Like the curvature on the sidewall is softer, so the ball's gonna roll up it and stay glued, versus this is steep. This is steeper. So it's better for curve dashing, or easier for curve dashing, at least for me. It's gonna pop my nose up more. But it throws the ball off. So because it throws the ball off, you gotta jump with the ball. You can't just hit it off. Like if I let it roll up and then I hit it off, it falls so far away from me I can't get it. So if I'm taking it up the backboard, I gotta jump with it. Jump with it to stay behind. That's like the beginner. That's like the best simple tip I could give you. From there, all the other rules apply of an air dribble, right? But off the sidewall, you can kind of get away with like just rolling up, hit it, jump after, do your flip, do your little dance, do your thing, whatever you want to do. But off the back wall, you got to jump with it. Does that help? You see why we have to kind of jump with the ball? I hope that helps. These have been phenomenal questions, chat. We are approaching the hour mark, so I do want to wrap things up. But to all 20 people who attended this air dribble class today, this was wonderful. Do you have any other last questions before we break? I'm going to go through announcements very quickly. Announcements are, just dropped a new video on the YouTube announcing that Verge is going to be partnering up with me, the RLCS coach for Dignitas, the pro coach Verge, over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's going to be coaching with us, so he'll be starting live events very soon. I've got another live event next Sunday. I think right now it's called Speed Flips. We might change it to like ceiling shots or something else, just to spice it up. Just to cycle them around. We might change it to Speed Flips or something else. But until then, I posted a Diamond 1 replay analysis with Tanner, aka Mystical, who was the third place finisher in the April in our April leaderboard. We're going to be picking 3 more winners to get free one-on-one coaching sessions with me. So stay active if you wanna. If you finish top 3 last 30 days, we'll be doing a coaching session. But yeah, go check his out, guys. It's in the school. I'll show you where it is right now. Josiah says, never noticed it came off faster. That'll make it so much easier to account for. Cheers. I love that. Happy to help, man. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys, give you guys a quick tour. If you do have questions, rewind, or we'll cover it next week. But yeah, Verge is teaming up. Verge and I are teaming up. And if you want to see in the school, we now have a new section. I'll create a section in the classroom called live event recordings. And perhaps like one-on-one coaching session recordings. But yeah, if you go to the community, I'll drop it in event replays here. There's 2v2 coaching, Danner, Diamond 1, Tanner, aka Mr. Ken. If you guys want to see what Diamond 2v2 gameplay looks like and what I said to him, I think it'll apply to you. So go check it out. Like, what are these diamonds doing? Let me know if that helps. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, Tanner, if you want to follow me IRL or message me where I actually check it, it's one word. I'm live on my Instagram. I'm active on my Instagram. It's just Spook Luke Graham. I'm super active here. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys. You're real ones. 20 people who showed up today. I love you. I love you. Go comment on my newest Instagram post. Say, hey, I was at the event today, and I'll follow you back. It's this one. Good. Comment on me and Bird. Go comment on that. I'll shoot you a follow. Appreciate you guys. I hope this was helpful. Love from Chicago. I'll see you next week.
Shots and make changes immediately made me realize, like, he doesn't care.
You feed my heart.
This is not for the money.
Embrace my soul.
The money, and
No
I've always
one's
been
ever
this way,
done
is
so.
monetizing your hobby, and it's like, oh, you're
Without your
charging people for this, this is
presence,
a hobby,
without
something
your
for
hope,
fun.
the right places feel so
I don't
wrong.
do it for the money, and I don't think anybody in Rocket
They want me high, but I feel so low.
There's better money in other games.
yeah, like you go to Fortnite.
Yeah,
but yeah,
They miss my
everybody.
smile, but I can't let go. I need you in my life, babe. I feel cold in the heat, caught in a dream when
Sarah, am I live?